My husband's story. This was about 2 years before we moved house. My husband is a magnet for the paranormal. He's seen things for as long as he can remember and is still freaked out when things happen. Anyways, one day him and a friend had decided to explore an abandoned hospital. When they went in, it was broad daylight. Once inside the building, my husband kept track of any turns they made so they could make sure they went back the same way. As they were going through, he noticed bullet holes in walls and bloodstains that looked like people had been drugged down the hallways. They saw things running around in their peripheral vision and had chairs rolling across the floors right in front of them. They even heard things running around. He said it could have been animals, but they never saw a single animal whilst there. After that, he said things started to feel weird. Then they noticed it had gotten dark outside, which didn't make any sense to him because it felt like they were only in there for maybe an hour. So they thought it best to leave at that point, and he started following his notes to get back out. Once they reached what should have been the stairwell to exit, it ended up being nothing but a solid wall. He said he knew they were in the right spot because the graffiti on the wall around it was the exact same as it was when they first got there. It caused them to panic, and they started trying to get out of any door they could find, and came across a door that had a sign on it saying, "Do not enter, dead inside." It ended up just being the morgue, and they had to go through it to find the way out. The only door he could force his way through was a door leading to the roof. Once they got outside, they had to go across the roof and down into a stairwell of another part of the hospital just to get out. He said it felt almost as if whatever was in there didn't want them to leave. This last part sounds a little crazy, but he swears by it. He said, when they got back to the car, he noticed he had dropped something and went back to look around for it. When he got close, there was a little girl standing just inside one of the windows, and threw what he was looking for on the ground in front of him, as if she was telling him not to come back in. He grabbed it and ran so fast he ended up tripping and actually tore something in his knee, and still has problems from it to this day. Choose to believe it or not, he goes white as a ghost and starts sweating every time he tells the story. I had asked him to take me to check it out, and he refused to ever step foot back in there again. They had tried tearing it down for years, but every crew that went in would leave and refuse to go back. It wasn't until around 2 years ago that they successfully tore it down. Now it sits in piles with the parking garage still standing. A side note, coincidentally he said the chapel felt the worst and the cremation chamber was the most peaceful. Very odd.